Hello, and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we are going to finish up Matthew chapter 12. I'm going to read verses 43 through 50 with the English Standard Version. When the unclean spirit has gone out of a person, it passes through waterless places seeking rest, but finds none. Then it says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when it comes, it finds the house empty, swept, and put in order. Then it goes and brings with it 7 other spirits more evil than itself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of that person is worse than the first state. So also will it be with this evil generation. While he was still speaking to the people, behold, his mother and his brothers stood outside asking to speak to him. But he replied to the man who told him, Who is my mother, and who are my brothers? And stretching out his hand towards his disciples, he said, Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother. Okay, so the evil spirits, after being cast out, look for a place to rest. They don't find it, so they go back to the person that they were cast out from. To me, I say this a fair amount in my videos. That should be an eye-opener. Basically, what that tells me is we cannot keep going back to our evil ways. If we say that we have turned to Christ, then our heart needs to be wholly towards Christ. We cannot leave a door open for any kind of evil to come in, because when that evil comes in, it will completely take over, pushing Christ out. However, if we allow Christ to fully inhabit our hearts, fully live in our hearts, there is no room for that evil to creep in. There is no room for that evil to say, hey, I might still have a chance here. No, it'll still be wandering around looking for a place to rest. Now, this next section here. I'm not going to say I've heard on this one, because I honestly haven't heard on this one any debate as to whether Jesus was really saying, who is my brother, or who are my brothers and who's my mother. I haven't heard if he was actually being serious when he was saying that, or if he was utilizing that as another way to do a parable, so to speak. Because he goes straight into pointing at his disciples, saying, hey, these are my brothers, my mother, my sisters. If you do God's will, that is who you are to me. So he took something that was being originally looked at as physical, his physical mother, his physical brothers, and he turned it into something spiritual, calling his disciples family. So we today are his family if we do his will. If we neglect his will, we are not part of that family. We are a branch that needs to be cut off. Now, the reason I'm not sure if he was actually legitimately asking, who is my mother, who are my brothers, is we'll find out at the end of Matthew. He does look at his mother when he is on the cross, and he looks at another disciple, and he looks at his mother and says, woman, behold your sons. And he looks at the disciple and says, behold your mother. So he does acknowledge her in the physical sense. Just like I say, I think that this particular instance, my understanding, my quick 2 cents of it, he is taking what was meant to be physical and turning it spiritual, so that it could be a lesson for those that were listening to him speak. And therefore, it is also a lesson for us. Because we do call each other brothers and sisters in Christ even today. And that's what we are, if we do the will of God. So, I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.